All right, well, live-in home healthcare workers have traditionally been exempt from receiving overtime pay, but that's all about to change. Attorney Jim Higgins with the Higgins Firm recently stopped by to explain the change in the law, who it impacts, and the challenges. Take a look. All right, Jim, great to have you back.
Thank you.
All right, good news for all of these health home workers. So tell us about this new law that affects the wage and hour and their pay. What's going on here?
Well, for 40 years, if you were a home health giver, a caregiver, somebody that cares for someone at the house, helps them with their activities of daily living, things like that, you didn't get overtime pay no matter how much you worked at that house. And what they've recently done is the Department of Labor has said, all right, you're no longer exempt. The industry appealed that, they tried to get it blocked, and the Supreme Court recently said, nope, it's going to apply to them. So for 40 years, if you worked 60 hours in a home health industry, you only got that minimum wage for every hour. And so now that's going to change. And so if you're going to start having to track their time, if you work over 40 hours a week, you ought to be getting overtime. And I tell you, it is hard work, and they really generally don't get paid a lot an hour anyway. And so hopefully this will put a little bit more money in these folks' pocket who are good, hard workers. And as our society is aging, they're important. They're an important part of our work group, and this will help us get good, qualified people, I think, in those positions.
Absolutely. A lot of good news for them. Now, is your office getting a lot of calls on these types of cases? Have you heard from these workers?
A few. I think because the rule came around last year, it was, going up through the ranks. It really gave time for a lot of the people in this industry to prepare for it, because I think they knew it was going to happen. And so most of them have already been doing it, have already figured out how they're going to track hours for somebody that works in someone's home, things like that. So for the most part, it seems like they're complying with it. And we've had a few home health care workers that have not, and we've been able to go and help them get their overtime pay. But for the most part, I think that they are complying with it, and everything seems to be going fairly smooth.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Now, if someone out there believes that they've been denied overtime pay, when should they call your office, and does it cost anything for them?
Yeah, no, it doesn't cost anything to call us. And what I always tell folks is, overtime pay cases can be confusing. There are certain people that are entitled to overtime that a lot of times they don't even know it. Or like one of the most common ones we get is somebody who gets a salary, and they think just because they're on a salary they don't get overtime. And that's so not true. It really depends on what your work is. But people don't want to just go in and cause trouble at work. So often what they do, and it's fine, is call us. We'll let you know if you have a claim or if we think you have a claim. And then you can decide how you want to deal with it. Talk to your employer, you can have us deal with it, whatever. But just knowing where you stand is important, and we don't mind talking to folks.
All right, makes a lot of sense. Great information, Jim. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, the Higgins Firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 1-800-705-2121. You can also visit their website. That's thehigginsfirm.com.